Hey everyone, my name is Vanessa Benitez, and I will be comparing my personal experiences to that of Mark and other deaf and hard of hearing children. So I was born a hearing child to hearing parents who were both bilingual, so I grew up speaking both English and Spanish, learning to read and write in English and in Spanish, and was really encouraged to use both of my forms of communication. Whereas children who are deaf or hard of hearing, once they're born, usually do not have access to language right on. 90% of deaf children are born into hearing parents, and a lot of them don't know sign, they don't know um, ways to communicate with their child. So many times for the first few months, and sometimes the first few years of that child's life, there is no access to communication. There's no way for them to input or output information, and so their cognition is a little bit thrown off, and we learn things through different parts of our lives. Especially through expectations of others, and self-expectations is really the quality of what we're going to learn. Mark talks a lot about this in his book, where his self-expectations really hinder himself. He talks about a self-imposed glass ceiling that really inhibits him from progressing academically or socially. But his grandfather, on the other hand, has very high expectations for him and really encourages him to do things that no other deaf person has tried to come and do, and that really changes and shifts his perspective, and he really goes on to getting an interpreter and being able to really be involved in school and doing really, really great things. And so it relates to me because my parents have always had really high expectations for me as well, whether it was academic, whether it was in sports or personal things. I was very encouraged if I was going to do something, I was going to do it to the best of my ability, or I wasn't going to do it at all. Siblings and sports go hand in hand just because I kind of learned the same thing from both. I grew up with two brothers, and seeing the way that they did things and being able to change and strategize the way I did in sports, changing just how I did things to see if I could do something better or improve more my technique of some sort, and I would just be able to change the outcome of what happened the first time. And I did the same thing when I would go into school, and all of these things really helped me socially as well, where sports, religion, or anything really contributed to my social development. Therefore, I was able to be really confident in who I was. And Dr. Sheets talks about this in her book, where she says students who are confident in engaging in a variety of activities feel secure in their relationship and feel that they can make confidence in their social skills. And so I just relate to this, and I know Mark relates to it as well, whereas in sports he had confidence to be with all of these people who he really wasn't speaking to, which is playing a sport, and I feel the same way when it comes to sports or religion or in an educational setting. And that's my lens. Thank you.